Hi from Legaleech. Today we have Advocate Akshay Bhambri with us, and he has founded AK Bhambri and Associates. He is based in South Delhi. He specializes in cyber laws and IT laws, and he has vast experience of cyber law practice as well as IT law practice. He has 4+ years of litigation experience. Now let's begin with sir. Mr. Akshay, can you just tell us a bit about your background and your journey in becoming a lawyer?
First of all, good evening, and I'm very honored and glad that you have invited me on this platform. And I've been following you, your legal leads, and you're doing a very wonderful job. Kudos for that. And to the answer to your question, I believe being a lawyer, it was never dreamed of, and even I was never passionate about. I'll rather say it was destiny because I was interested in computers. I have joined computer science at the initial stage of my life. Then I continued political science honors. And from there, I cracked one of the entrance exam of LLBs. And there I thought, why not? Let's give it a chance. And being a political background, you are always interested how this government works, how the world entices, what is the world order. And that thought made me realize that I should pursue law, LLB now. Then after LLB, I completed my LLM, so on, cyber law, arbitrations, IPR. So I will only remark my journey as only destiny, nothing else.
Thank you so much, sir, for the answer. Do you have any suggestion for the law students of today? What is one advice or advices which you want to give to law students today, according to you? What would be your advice?
I have only one advice I've seen, and I have already talked about it on my channels, on my LinkedIn post. The only thing that these days students are running like a cog behind the certificate system. Internship certificate does not affect your litigation or corporate career. And I'm repeating it, collecting as many as internship certificate will not gonna take you anywhere. So I will say rather go for the passion, rather follow the passion, and wherever you work, just stick to it. Not for 1 month, at least you will for 6 months in our litigation, it's only the procedural work. So the first 6 months you will only learn the procedural work. So rather don't follow the shadow, don't follow the cog, be the other system. Go for the practice, learn the procedure. No internship certificate is not being appreciated in my journal.
Having said that, moving on further, without breaching any client confidentiality, have you ever come across a case or a matter or any consultation session where it has been a memorable experience for you as well as a challenging one?
I'll share my one of the first cyber cases of it was a call center in Gurgaon, and it was being about 138 employees were being arrested at the late night 2 a.m. And I was being called to understand what is the scenario and why even the employee director, even every employee was arrested on the basis of that you are working on frauds call center, and that was very challenging. So I fight it for them. I even had a word with the DCP that was working in, and before that, on the next day of the arrest, within 24 hours, I was successfully managed out of 123 of the employees, 85 of them were released on the single conversation. So I'll say this call center case was one of my most challenging and very experienced one.
So it is one of your big cases. It has been highlight of your legal career. What was or what are the strategies which you used in this matter? And what are the strategies which, according to you, are very much vital and important in a legal career or legal profession?
Strategies, I believe there is no straight jacket formula. Strategies are dynamic. It should be understand what is the case is about and how you will want to proceed it. But if you talk about strategies, I'll say when your homework and when your research is correct or on point, I believe nobody can beat you in that point of the game. So when you step into the court, make sure that your research and your homework is done for your hand. So that is the one of the best strategies that I follow.
That's actually nice to hear because every lawyer has their own individual strategy, own thought process, own way of going about things. So you told about yourself, and I'm definitely sure it's going to benefit our students, our listeners. So, sir, moving on further, how do you approach maintaining balance between your professional and personal life?
I'll tell you when I was practicing, it was my very first job, and my senior told me that काम कभी खत्म नहीं होगा. So it ultimately you have to balance it, and I he was a very disciplined guy, and I learned from him. So what I do, I follow a very strict routine. Wake up at 6 a.m. I go to the gym. I follow my hobbies. I wind up all my work around 7 or 7:30, and then I do my writing. I do the researching. But I have a rule that when I'm in the office, I'll do all the official work. When I'm out of the office, I'm gonna do none of the official. That is what my strategy is.
Yes, sir, because many times what happens is when a client calls in off hours also, which are not our office hours. So we have a tendency to pick up the call and we start advising them or telling them, "Acha ye hoga, wo hoga. Okay, this application is going to go and so on, so on." By doing that, हम काम को घर ले आते हैं और घर को भी ऑफिस
Correct.
बना लेते हैं. And I think then there is no balance. There is nothing doing because ऑफिस में घर ले आए, then sometimes if informal call is there or someone from your house is calling, then you are on that call for a longer time. So it's a very jumbled up situation then.
And that is why I have two numbers.
All right. So what are the most rewarding and the most challenging aspects of being a lawyer, especially you as a cyber lawyer, that too in litigation field? According to
I
you,
believe
what is more rewarding and most challenging? So, two questions in one.
I believe patience is the only key. First 5 years, if you are in this litigation, you will make a difference. Patience is the only key. See, this is how a car works. I'll tell you. You go for the first gear, you change it to the second, go to the third, fourth, and fifth. Fifth is the top gear, and you will be at the peak of your career. That is why the first initial years is that you're understanding the procedure and you are making a strategies. So I'll say patience is the only key.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you, Akshay, because I am also a legal professional that too in litigation field. बिना patience रखे, if we are looking for quick results, this is not the field. If anyone is looking for quick results, quick climbing up the ladder, quick fame, quick money, it is not the case here.
Life and
Uh,
litigation are shortcuts.
yes, sir. So, Akshay, how do you deal with stress and burnout, which is associated with legal profession? So, कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि आप एकदम पक गए हो, or you may have faced a client who is not understanding you and he is pressurizing you to do XYZ stuff which is not even ethical, and you're just stressed because this in this profession we get clients जो अपनी प्रॉब्लम लेके आते हैं हमारे पास, तो प्रॉब्लम अगर कोई सुनता है तो उस पे भी वो प्रॉब्लम का इफेक्ट आता है.
करेक्ट. आई बिलीव एक कहावत थी, जेठमलानी जी ने सबसे अच्छी बात एक अपनी बुक में लिखी थी कि कोई भी क्लाइंट हमारे पास आता है तो अपनी प्रॉब्लम लेके आता है, और जब हमारे से ऑफिस से बाहर निकलता है तो वो प्रॉब्लम हमें दे के जाता है. एंड लॉयर इज दी ओनली वन जो सबकी प्रॉब्लम्स रख लेता है और अपनी भी संभाल के रखता है. सो देखा जाए तो बर्नआउट के सबके अपने तरीके होते हैं. मुझे लगता है सब में कहीं ना कहीं हिडन टैलेंट होता है, कोई पैशन होता है. जो वो हमेशा से चाहता है कि यार मुझे ये करना चाहिए। फॉलो योर पैशन, दैट इज द ओनली की। अब अगर यही जवाब मेरे सैंडबैग से पूछा जाता तो ज्यादा अच्छा होता। ही इज द एंड रिजल्ट ऑफ burnout.
So for our audience and students, Akshay ji is into boxing. He is on Instagram, so you can see him boxing, and he has his videos and reels. So that's his way of de-stressing. बॉक्सिंग करते हैं, उसको पंचिंग बैग को मारते हैं, तो सारा गुस्सा निकल जाता है, सारी फ्रस्ट्रेशन निकल जाती है. सो
इसलिए
इट्स
मेरे
हिज वे.
क्लाइंट भी मुझसे ज्यादा नहीं बोलते।
क्या? सॉरी सर, क्या?
इसलिए भी मेरे क्लाइंट मुझसे ज्यादा नहीं बोलते।
दैट्स जस्ट वंडरफुल. उन्हें पता है अगर ज्यादा बोलेंगे वकील साहब उनको भी कर देंगे. वेल, जोक्स अपार्ट, दिस वाज समथिंग वेरी नाइस. Sir, how have you seen the legal profession change over the course of your career? Have you seen some changes? जैसे जब आप फर्स्ट ईयर में थे लीगल प्रोफेशन में तो कोई और चेंज था, जब आप हैं तो कोई और चेंज है.
Correct. I will say the change is dynamic and very good. When I was there in the first year, I joined. I was even budging off with my internship and my law college school, and I pretty on decided the moment I was in first semester, I joined my first internship because I knew it. I have to go into the litigation. So the only thing is acceptability that a young lawyer can also win cases and can also fight your cases with the damn diligence hard work. Acceptability has been awoken. पहले young generation को it was not supported. When I had my first case, it was dismissed on the very first date. Why? Because I was too young for that. Even in some of the cases when I go into the police station and these officers they ask me that you are a junior, please send your senior. And even some of the judges do that. Where is the main counsel? So I believe the acceptance of a young lawyer that he can also practice at a very young age. He can also start independent. I've seen my juniors, my friends, they have opened up their independent practice within 2 years, and they are doing very good. So that's the key of flexibility, the encouragement by the bar and by the judiciary, by our judges, it's been applaudable and acceptable. And that is the one of the major change I have seen in my litigation career.
That's just great. I mean, acceptability, if you talk about that, तो एक अच्छा चेंज हुआ है फॉर यंग लॉयर्स. बिकॉज पहले जुडिशियल ऑफिसर्स were not treating young lawyers in a good manner, right?
Correct.
Nobody was actually. Clients were not trusting. Judges are not treating you properly, and seniors are not teaching you anything, not guiding you. So it is a very horrible predicament to be in actually. And now when you talk about acceptability, and it's just because of young lawyers like you, Mr. Akshay, it's just because of young lawyers like you. Because when judges see high caliber people, judges see people who have potential capacity like you have in a very short span of your career. You have achieved a lot. You have achieved a lot in a field जिस फील्ड में सीनियर्स घुसने से कतराते हैं. साइबर लॉ बहुत टेक्निकल फील्ड होती है. नॉट एवरीबडी कैन डू दैट. इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी लॉज, not everybody can do that. Specialization is required. Lot of study and research is required, which lawyers don't want to do.
Correct. I
Now,
will say अगर आप टेक्निकल नहीं हो तो आप टेक्निकलिटी में नहीं जा सकते. If I'll talk about SQL, PHP, the VPN, subnet masking, अगर आपको यही नहीं पता तो आपको यही नहीं पता चलेगा कि हैकिंग होती कैसे. And unfortunately, I'll tell you, this is a sad reality कि साइबर क्राइम के ज्यादा से ज्यादा केसेस आज आईपीसी में डील हो रहे हैं rather than IT Act. That is a sad reality, and that is also a concern.
all right, sir. So, sir, could you provide some practical tips for young lawyers who are just starting their career?
I believe I'll say three keys to be successful as a lawyer. First is your legal research. You should know how to read a judgment, how to summarize it. You should be well aware with all the precedents and the judgment. So that is the first thing, legal research. Second is your writing skills. Drafting skills can make win you a matter or could lose you a matter. So drafting is the second most important thing that you should understand. Third is, I believe, I'll say replace it with the technology proficiency कि आप आजकल ई कोड्स डिजिटल हो रही हैं, सारी कोड्स डिजिटल हो रही है। तो rather than आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि कौन सी कोड कौन से सॉफ्टवेयर पे चल रही है, कैसे इनका सिस्टम काम कर रहा है, दैट इज द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग। ये तीन चीजें अगर आप समझ गए, आई थिंक 50% ऑफ द गेम इज इन योर हैंड्स।
That's just a great piece of advice, sir. That is something जो आज तक हमारे इंटरव्यू में किसी ने ऐसी एडवाइस नहीं दी है. लेट मी बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट विद यू. इट्स समथिंग वेरी ऑफ द हुक. बहुत हटके एडवाइस है हमारे लॉ स्टूडेंट्स एंड यंग लीगल प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए. एंड आई होप दे विल एक्चुअली get some benefit out of it. So, sir, what resources do you recommend for someone who wants to understand more about law practice as a fresher?
I'll say first is Bear Act. Bear Act is your Bible. I'll be very frank. When I graduated from law school, मुझे Bear Act नहीं पढ़ने आते थे, and I'll be very frank about it. So Bear Act को पढ़ना सीखिए. There is provisions, there are clauses, they are notwithstanding clauses, and there is very technicality. अगर आप उसको समझें. Secondly, when I was in my free time, when I was in my internship, तो मेरे सीनियर जल्दी से जल्दी चैम्बर बंद करके चले जाते थे. What I do, I used to sit in a court with a pen and paper always in my hand. I have noted every senior lawyer judgment. I still have that book. Even any word, even I learn a new word, I used to jot it down. Even this practice, I'm following it till now. If I go to the Supreme Court, I go to the High Court, I always have my pen and paper with me. So these are the two things. कोर्ट प्रोसीडिंग को समझने के लिए कोर्ट में वक्त टाइम देता है. सेकंड इज द सेम एडवाइस which I followed. These are the two most important advice.
All right, sir. So, sir, what are your thoughts on mentorship in law? Do you think mentors are necessary? Who can honestly give guidance? What is the significance of mentors according to you in this profession?
I believe mentorship is very important. And there was a time I haven't find any of the mentor, unfortunately, and a sad reality. And this is the reason when I was in COVID, I was approached by the NGOs, the colleges, that sir, please start lecturing us. Give us some webinars. Give us an insight how this cyber law works, how it unfolds. In that point of time, the IT was the amendment was there, Law Commission was talking about, data protection was there. So in the COVID, we have seminars of 200 students at the same time. And that is how our firm and we came out with a project called Cybernosis. Cybernosis is our project जहाँ पे हम cyber legal awareness देते हैं. Post, how technicalities, how cyberbullying is there, कैसे आपको कंप्लेंट करनी है, if you are a victim, what are the liabilities you can take over. That is what we gain over. And I believe mentorship nahi thi. That is why I personally came up with this program कि law school में बच्चे हैं but उनको direction नहीं है. And that is why I believe many of the practicing lawyers come with a program जहाँ पे वो बताते हैं, they'll tell you each and every thing, फॉर्म कैसे भरना है, प्रोसेस फी फॉर्म कैसे भरना है, minor details. So I believe follow most of the channels and always be updated with the precedents and current legal news.
Sir, did you have any incident at any point of your career where you felt a setback, or there was a time when you felt that this is a hard time and it's as similar to a setback? I mean, that's a setback. कुछ ऐसा टाइम
Uh,
आया आपके लीगल करियर में जब आपको सोचने पे मजबूर कर दिया कि भाई ये तो परेशानी वाली चीज हो गई है? Did you actually feel? Because we as lawyers we generally do. So I want to ask this too.
My one of the most bravest decision I'll say. I was working in a very good top tier corporate firm, and I was in Mumbai. I was working there. It was very good salary was there, and this COVID wave hit on. And that point of time, our working was turned out to be a work from home. And I left Mumbai. I came to Delhi with my laptop, and we started working work from home. And then suddenly I realized when they call us after a year, कि आप वापस आओ, let us join again. And there will be some cut of salary would be there. Then I realized that I've been nothing just being a corporate slave. So the only decision I took that this is the hard time that I should hit to the litigation. And I think that was one of the bravest decision I have and one of the most successful decision I took. Corporate से litigation में जाना, it's like a new field.
For our audience, for our law students, let me just tell that Mr. Akshay is a first generation lawyer. Whatever you are, जो भी आप इनके पीछे इनके मेडल्स और ट्रॉफीज देख सकते हैं, इट्स ऑल हिज अकम्प्लिशमेंट अचीवमेंट. ही इज एक्चुअली डन अ लॉट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क. ही इज एक्चुअली, जिसे कहते हैं ना, बहुत स्ट्रगलिंग टाइम्स इन्होंने देखे हैं. सो द वे ही सेइंग कि कॉर्पोरेट से स्विच लिटिगेशन में करना बहुत टफ होता है, अपना मार्क बनाना बहुत टफ होता है लिटिगेशन में, बिना किसी बैकिंग के, बिना किसी सी इफ यू आर अ सेकंड जनरेशन लॉयर यू गेट अ स्ट्रक्चर, so you get a place to sit at least, right? But the things which you see around him and at his backside, it's all his hard work. He actually has come a long way, and we wish that he will be going a long way ahead also.
Thank you.
That's what we wish for him. So with this, Akshay ji, we'll conclude our interview. Thank you so much आप आए, और आपकी insights बहुत help करेंगी उन लोगों को जो जो बहुत hesitate करते हैं कि क्या corporate से litigation में जाना चाहिए.
I believe आपने अंतर मन की आवाज सुननी चाहिए.
Hmm.
Calling, I believe आपको you talked about mentorship. I'll share one example. Mentorship कोई नहीं करता. Nobody will gonna spoon feed you, and that's a fact. If they'll gonna spoon feed you, you will turn out to be a liability for them, and that's a fact. But at the end of the day, अगर आपको सही decision लेना है or you are confused that where you have to step forward, there will be an inner voice that will be guiding into the right direction always. So, Sare, I believe all the answers are not outside, they are within.
I totally get you, sir. I totally get you. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing out your time. Thank you so much. We are so excited to have you aboard, and our audience would be so happy to see you. I mean, in this interview, and or law students, professionals, be it of any age, they will learn a lot, because I think हम किसी से भी सीख सकते हैं, चाहे हम किसी भी एज के हो, किसी भी एक्सपीरियंस के हो. This is my profound belief.
And thank you so much for inviting me.